my fucking god, that scared the shit out of me. I swear to shit. Are you reading chats? I am. What is good? How long have you been streaming for? I've been streaming for on and off for about like a year or two. So you want to continue streaming in the future professionally? I do. I have some ideas for your channel. Mind if I share? Feel free. I'd love to hear them. I'm a professional artist. Oh, nice. Want to say my artwork? Sure. I do art too. I just mostly do it for fun. I do improve my artwork, but I do it very slowly. You've done it for many streamers? Nice. Make the channel cool? Nice, man. Nice. And I've been doing mostly my own artwork for like, since I can remember. I've like redrawn, you know, the Mr. Mega Maggot logo and stuff. I still find ways to include my art in some of my stuff. They got followers and subscribers, and you know, everyone likes streamers whose channels are decent. Well, you know, I like to think that my channel is kind of decent now. But I see where you're coming from. I want to make a partner for sure. You could do it yourself, but you know, there's a difference between yours and mine, a quality difference. Okay, well, here's the thing, right? I've spoken to some very professional artists, and I've learned tips and tricks, and that's why I use draw file now instead of, I started with MS Paint, and finally I'm on Drawpile. One thing I always said is they were professional artists. Suddenly if you have that professional title, that it's like, oh, everyone else's artwork is suddenly lesser because they're less professional. If I see artwork and I like it, then I like it. And, you know, I tend to think that my artwork is pretty good. I will send you my Discord. Any art that I haven't done for the channel specifically is, like, usually NSFW, so I can't just show it on Twitch. That's why I don't do any art streams, because that's all I want to draw, usually. Alright, let's see it. Oh, you do look pretty fancy. Yeah, man, it looks good. Looks like good stuff. I'm not sure if that's necessarily my kind of style, but that's nice background stuff. I like the Pokemon, the Shinx Squad one. I can show you some of my stuff if you don't want to see any of that.
What? It's just an ordinary... Oh my goodness!
Can't show that on Twitch. I have been improving with Drawpile. So the professional artist that I talked to was right about, you know, using the right program. I suck at learning. Don't tell anybody. I was thinking to do for your channel as well. We can discuss it after stream and stuff, but mostly I'm looking more for like tips. Cause you're an artist, right? Like you've done all this stuff. Like you're really good at this. I would say just tips on like what I should be doing. I think my main concern is I don't want it to look like everyone else's. I feel like this is like the base sort of thing everyone would use. Whereas as an artist myself, I really want to make it unique. We can talk when I'm free. I will let you know, my dude. I will do whatever you say.
A few moments later.
I'm working all fucking night on this animation, so you better fucking love it. This is my close-up one. Then I got this next one is gonna be the thank y'all for joining me. But these aren't the main ones. You're like, where's the gaming one? I don't even see the game. There it is. I've been doing this all day. You're probably like, where's the coffee stuff from the last streams? It's been upgraded. I think I've been doing it for like 7 hours at least. Just animating that one thing. Who's this bitch? The fuck? Yo, new follower? Who is it? Elsa Julie 11. Hello, how are you doing? I'm doing great. By the way, I do art for streamer. Okay. I haven't mentioned the rules. Okay, there's the rules. Okay. Number 1. Don't try and sell me a service or ask me to give away any money. The only art I'm willing to look at is fan art. Professional artist? I know. I just dealt with a professional artist, and I don't want to talk about that. So that's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is don't insult Jockey the Doggo, because that's my friend. Number 3, you may only ask me for $20 drawing commissions at the end of my stream. Like at the end of the stream, so you can ask then if you want me to draw something. And no spamming the same message or anything extremely offensive more than 3 times. I don't look at any art, and I don't buy anything. You ever seen a streamer do this? You ever seen a... Did you talk to any designer before? I talked to 3. I was more doing it for tips and stuff about art. The first one that talked to me, I ended up paying for like art, And then I got a preview back, and it was just like, the quality was just like not up to my expectations, basically. I was like, I could basically just draw something better than that. So I was like, why not? You know, not that they're necessarily a bad artist, but it's just they came to me saying literally the exact same thing you did, where they're like, I'm a professional artist, and then they showed me that, and I was like, you're a professional. I'm mega professional. I just make my own thing, and that's what I did. What are you talking about? I'm talking about, there's Elena Allison, Luciana Eva, and the other one was Effectual Design. Elena Allison was the main one that came to me first that I paid. They're working for, what is it? The Digi World? It turned out that it was like a whole company or something like that. It's a whole complicated story. It's just, I had to deal with that today, and I'm just like, oof. Like when I was doing commission work, it was just like, you know, you did it, you give previews if they wanted previews, and if, you know, there was ever a problem and they were like, you know, I don't think this is up to, like, this is the kind of thing I want, then I'll just, you know, like, I've given refunds before, just like, it's no big deal. There's some sort of like weird thing where it was like, oh, you can only get back like 60% refund, and it's like, I feel like being part of a company would make it easier, but no offense, but if I do end up commissioning an artist for anything, which is not going to be for Twitch ever again because of the rule. Like, one of my friends that's like a really close friend is an artist, so I'd probably pay them to make something. But if not, then I'd probably go on DeviantArt and go from there. But I don't really have anything that I needed other than Twitch that I needed art for. But I mean, the prices were like, oh my gosh. Because they work for the company, they can take anyone who worked for the company and basically use that, like, any of their art, anyone that's in the company, use their art to say, okay, this is the kind of art we make. The problem is every artist is unique and, like, has their own way of doing it. So when I saw all the different art that they were suggesting, I was like, okay, I want it to look like this one. And of course, that was from a completely different artist who had a completely different way of drawing it. And then when I got the thing, it looked nothing like the one I was suggesting. Which is kind of strange to think about it, because you think, like, okay, maybe they direct me to the specific artist that made that. But I guess not. Maybe it's like commission based, so maybe they thought they could hack it or something, and then they didn't want to end up giving me the refund when I changed my mind. I had to convince her for like 5 hours to give me a refund. Either way, I'm glad it's over, and I don't want to get in that situation again. Basically, I've done commissions, I've done trades, and I've had some amazing artwork either traded or like given to me for like almost nothing. This is the only time when not only did I not get what I wanted, and yet it was so expensive, and the moment I wanted to back out, I couldn't. I've basically never had that in DeviantArt. That's why I love the people on DeviantArt, because it's like, and why I would want to pay either a known artist that I know personally from my own art that I make, or I'd want it to be from DeviantArt. If you want to talk to me about art, I mean, you can always, I guess, talk to me on DeviantArt. My DeviantArt link is like right, I do logo and banner art. Okay. You know, the thing is, I did kind of give you 3 warnings, and I did make the rule specifically because I didn't want to be pestered about art. Normally, I would just go on a whole rant about it and complain, but I think it's easier to just ban you, so, yeah, the rules show up anytime someone wants to type. It's interesting. Yep, there you go. Listen, sorry, but not sorry. I gave you like 3 warnings. I didn't want to talk about it, and I went on a huge rant, even though I said I didn't want to talk about it because I dealt with it all day, and I was super stressed. Damn. That's the first time I had to legit ban someone. Crazy.